Hi friends, it's me, Jessica Snow. Welcome back to another week of whatever it is we're doing here. Today I'm super excited because we're talking about something that has helped me very much in my life, and I've seen it help a lot of other folks too. And today we're talking about the concept of what are my 2 next right actions. And this is a magical technique, really magical, profoundly magical, especially when we are pursuing or calling in something that we really want to experience. And it really works particularly well if there's something kind of big that we're drawing into our life experience and there's some resistance. This technique is truly super effective. And let's talk about resistance for a second. And I want to reframe resistance as simply this. All of us have many selves inside of us. We all have many characters inside of us. And as we're heading towards something that we really want to experience, there may be 70% of the characters inside of us who are like, yes, like I'm ready for this. I want to experience this. Sign me up. Let's go. Where the resistance comes in is there may be 30% of us, the characters inside of us, who for their own good reasons are like, yeah, I mean, that sounds good, but I don't know what it's going to mean for this, and I don't know how this, and so since I don't know exactly how it's going to be, I'm going to like put the brakes on that. I'm going to sort of, resist, right? So that's what resistance is. And in my experience, magically, when resistance comes in, then the thinking mind gets on board and jumps to the end of the process. It jumps all the way to the end and sort of is like, oh, well, we can't really, if I get this thing, then this won't really, and then how will this happen? And da 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 da. Okay. Totally normal. All of this is natural. And also, we're magical folks. So we invoke the power of next 2 right actions. And this is how you do it. Today, I'm going to take you through doing it from the thinking mind's perspective. And then we're going to have a little meditation and we're going to invite something a little more expansive to have its voice heard about what your 2 next right steps are. Okay, so if you want to play along, and I encourage us all to be playful with this one, again, resistance can get stronger when we're really like drilling down on something and like really grinding on it. So that's not our vibe. That's just going to scare the 30% of us that's like not sure. Okay, and so if you want to play along, grab a piece of paper and a pen. And I want you to use this next little bit of time while the music is playing to simply, from your thinking mind's point of view, right at the top of your page, what you would like to experience, and then write down your thinking mind's idea of your next 2 right steps. So I'll give you a quick example just so you can like sort of have a framework for this. Let's say I want to write a book. Okay, and my thinking mind may tell me your next 2 right actions are write the first chapter, and my second next right action is to send it out to literary agents to see if I can find a publisher. Okay, so that's the thinking mind's idea. Now, once I get that down, I'm going to meditate. I'm going to like get in the zone, which we're all going to do in a moment. And then I'm going to use my ability for divination, essentially, to speak with different layers of myself and of the ether. And I'm going to find out what they say my next 2 right steps are. And a key aspect of this is letting yourself be surprised in that second part, because very often in my experience and what I've seen, the thinking mind thinks it knows the way, but actually that deeper or higher part of us, or that more inner part of us, actually has like the better way. So let's be really open. I'm going to play a little bit of music for a short period of time, and just use this time to, top of your page, this is what I'm after, this is what I'm calling in. And then from the thinking mind's perspective, this is my first next right action, and this is my second one. And then we'll come back and we'll do a little meditation, and then we'll see what this more magical, mystical part of us has to say. Okay, did you do it? Did you write down your thinking mind's ideas of what you should do next? And here I just want to interject and just make a comment about the shoulding that often happens, especially if something's important to us that we're calling into our life experience. We can get caught up in a lot of shoulds that some of them may be from the thinking mind, but a lot of them are sort of filtered in from the collective, from what other people who aren't you, so really don't have the unique information that you need, but we can get the too many opinions from the collective, we can get too many ideas of like how this should go or how this usually happens, and that can mess us up, okay? So we just want to sort of be like, okay, whatever the thinking mind said, if those feel like shoulds, don't worry about it, because now we're gonna like get in the mood here to like really divine our next two right actions, okay? So if you want to close your eyes, close your eyes. You know I like to close my eyes. If you can make your body like 3% more comfortable, this would be the time to do that. And then right away as we begin, I want you to gently draw your awareness down from the area of the head and down into the area of the heart. So as you begin to sort of settle in and arrive, it's this gentle sort of teasing your consciousness away from the area of the head, down into the area of the heart. And I want you to particularly pay attention to the high heart. So this is like between your heart and your collarbone. So that's that space there, the high heart. And begin to imagine that you can sort of direct your breathing to flow into and out from that sort of upper chest, high heart place. And let's just take a few cycles of breath, just breathing into that high heart and then out. And as you continue to breathe into and out from that high heart, I want you to imagine that the heart sort of starts to bloom open. And as the heart blooms open, through no effort of your own, a wonderful sort of infinite prismatic light shines out from the heart, out into the air around you. Now, having the sense of the awareness centered around the heart, the breath is naturally flowing in and out. The heart's opening like a flower. And from the heart of that heart flower, that's the genesis point. That's the point from which all this light shines out from the heart, out through the body, and out into the air around you. And that light from your heart forms like an orb or a sphere, or a ball of light all around you. Now we get to be a little playful. Figure out your own way, but I like to, on the inhale, I feel that ball of light around me stretching out, reaching out, becoming very diffuse at the edges. And on the exhale, it comes close to me. It concentrates around me. It gets super, super bright. Some people like to sync their breath up in the opposite fashion. Whatever feels right to you is perfect. Trust me. All you're doing is syncing up your inhales and your exhales with the expansion and then this contraction and like this really brightening of the light around you. So you're sort of turning yourself into a little beacon. On your inhale, the light around you behaves one way, and on your exhale, another way. And this beacon effect is calling to you a helper, a muse, a guide, a teacher. They're up there somewhere and they can see this signal that you're sending, this light expanding and then contracting and then expanding again. And now imagine that this beacon effect has led to this teacher, this guide, this higher being, your inner self, whatever it is, whoever comes first is perfect. They can be as simple as a beam of light. They can be a guide you've worked with before. They can be a part of yourselves or of the natural world. And now they're here. They saw your beacon, so you can let go of syncing the breath with the light around you. And now you have this guide here. And what we're going to do next is so simple. Turn towards your guide, whether it's your inner being, your higher self, or something even more mystical. Whoever's here is perfect. Turn towards that guide. Tell them what you're calling in and ask them, what are my 2 next right actions? And let yourself be surprised. They may suggest things that the thinking mind may try to dismiss, but trust. So turning to that guide now, a little bit of time here with the music. What are my next 2 right actions? If you want to peek your eyes open and write them down, you're welcome to, or you can wait till the end. And they may show you sort of like a little movie or vignette of your next 2 right actions. They may just pop the ideas into your head. They may communicate with you in some way. And keeping it real simple, here's what I'm after. What are my next 2 right actions? One of the next 2 right actions that they suggest is confusing to you or need clarification, ask for it. Ask for it. If you'd also like a timeline for any of these actions, say when. And then just really with your whole heart, turn your heart towards this guide in whatever form they're in and ask them, is there anything else that would be good for me to know right now? And just receive whatever information, imagery, what would be good for me to know right now? And of course, if you want to peek your eyes open and write down what they're showing you or telling you, you can, or you can just wait till the end to do that. What would be good for me to know right now? Let yourself be surprised. And then turning your heart once again like towards this guide and thanking them And if you want to continue to work with them, like, think of an easy way into doing that. Make your arrangements with them, but mostly like thank them. It's wonderful to be able to reach out and have a helper of this stature show up. And when you hear the sound of the bells, you can open your eyes. And so if you haven't already, definitely, if you haven't already, go ahead and write down what that inner being, that higher self, the guide, told you your 2 next right steps are. And then if you want to, like, make your body a little bit more comfortable and like look with fairness at both sets of these suggested next 2 right steps, right? We do not want to denigrate the thinking mind. The thinking mind helps us so much. If you don't have a thinking mind, you're in trouble in this life, okay, on this planet. However, it is very important for your magic to also be consulting with these other levels of self. So, I hope that this is helpful. I hope that you take this technique and sort of make it your own. And I also want to say that if, especially the second set of next 2 right actions, which in my experience are often what that inner being suggests is much easier to accomplish, definitely do those. You can do the thinking mind ones too, but when we call out and when someone arrives from the ether to help us, if they tell us to, if my guide shows me an orange, you know I'm gonna go out, get an orange, and be present while I eat that orange. Does that make sense? So we really wanna do that second set particularly, and then we ask again and again and again, and we show up with fidelity, we show up with loyalty, and we keep consulting both the thinking mind and approaching things on this sort of ordinary world level, but we're also always consistently checking in with that other extraordinary level of reality where those special teachers, guides, parts of ourselves are so ready to be like, actually, the next 2 right actions are this and this. And it's sort of like, wow, I can do that. So then we do those. And then we come back and we ask again. So that's, I think, the longest video that we've done so far. I hope you love it. Please comment below. Please write to me with any questions you have. And thank you so much. And I'll see you next week. Maybe by then, your next 2 right actions will already be completed, and you may have already asked for and acted on the next 2, and you can make it the whole way that way.